I was looking back through my collection of videos and I could have sworn I've made a ranking of my favorite roller coasters by Rocky Mountain construction, but surprisingly, I never did make a video on this topic. Well, what better than the present to talk about one of the best manufacturers on the market. As of this recording, I've been on 12 different RMCs, so I will rank each one. Before we get into this video, please do me a favor by clicking on that like button, and those who are new to my channel, if you love theme parks and roller coasters, make sure to subscribe. Number 12, Jersey Devil Coaster, located at Six Flags Great Adventure. Bringing up the rear is the only single-rail roller coaster that I've been on. Back in 2021, I was super eager to check this ride out, so we made some changes to our travel plans to hit up Six Flags Great Adventure for the second time that year. Well, I thought it was loads of fun and especially enjoyed the giant zero-G stall. Fast forward to the following year, and what happened to Jersey Devil? The ride was butter smooth, but the following year it felt so janky. The awkward seating position and lap bar also started to stick out more. After a couple rides, I was pretty much done with a roller coaster, even though there was basically no line. Now, I know with all this negative talk, you must think that Jersey Devil is a bad coaster, which is not accurate. It's still a solid ride, but nowhere near the heights I would put the remaining coasters on this list. Number 11, Iron Rattler, located at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. The last time I rode this roller coaster was all the way back in 2017, so my opinion might very well change. From what I can remember, this ride has a couple highlight moments surrounded by a bunch of filler. Best elements all revolve around the quarry wall. The one and only inversion, a barrel roll, is a great moment of weightlessness. The best element is of course the dive off the quarry wall. If you're riding in the back, be prepared for some epic airtime. Iron Rattler is on my short list of roller coasters that I need to ride again soon. Number 10, Lightning Rod, located at Dollywood. After my last ride in 2023, my opinion of this roller coaster cratered. I used to consider it amongst the top 3, but now it's near the back of my ranking. The biggest offender is how rough it has gotten. I hear that now without the launch, it's a little smoother, so I will have to check it out again, but yeah, this was a headache-inducing ride. It's a real shame because Lightning Rod has some top-notch elements, the wave turn, outer bank turns, and of course the legendary quad down. This is an airtime machine that really deserves so much better. Number 9, Twisted Cyclone, located at Six Flags Over Georgia. I said it in my trip report and I'm going to say it again. In the current condition that Lightning Rod is in, I would rather ride Twisted Cyclone. Sure, it may be the shortest hybrid roller coaster by the manufacturer, but it's loaded with solid moments. Right from the first drop through to the brakes, Twisted Cyclone packs in fun airtime and great inversions. The wave turn is the standout element of the ride. It's just a nice sustained moment of airtime, but at a vertical angle. Would I prefer a longer ride? Sure, but what we got here is a solid roller coaster that deserves more recognition than what it currently gets. Number 8, Outlaw Run, located at Silver Dollar City. Similar to Lightning Rod, this is a roller coaster that demands to be ranked higher than what I'm giving it. This coaster has all the right elements, excellent pacing, and killer finale. The problem once again is that roughness. There are plenty of potholes scattered throughout the track that can really bring on the pain. The back row is especially the worst, which is rather ironic because it's also the best seat on the ride. Personally, just like what happened to most of Lightning Rod, Outlaw Run needs a complete retract with the iron rails, creating a butter smooth ride. I think the whole only double barrel roll on a wooden roller coaster thing doesn't mean much. I'd rather have a smooth, better ride experience than the semantics in the record-breaking department. Number 7, Storm Chaser, located at Kentucky Kingdom. Another small roller coaster by RMC. I think this manufacturer knows how to shine when dealing with a shorter track length. The thing about Storm Chaser though, it doesn't feel like a short ride even if it has less than 3,000 feet of track. Every element is fantastic. The ride has a couple traditional airtime hills that will send you flying to the moon. The craziest moment has to be that trick track double up. It's whipping you left and right, all while cranking on the airtime. When the coaster is warmed up, the train flies through the course, slamming back into the station. Number 6, Wicked Cyclone, located at Six Flags New England. Similar to Iron Rattler, it's been a while since I rode this roller coaster. My first and only rides on Wicked Cyclone was all the way back in 2019. It was an excellent coaster then, and from what I hear, it still holds up. Built prior to Twisted Cyclone, Wicked Cyclone has a longer layout, giving you that neat finale lap that travels through the wooden structure. I kinda like to refer to this roller coaster as the mini Steel Vengeance. Wicked Cyclone also has that weird Outer Bank turn, but unlike the modern versions of this element, this one is more of a turn than an actual airtime hill. The final barrel roll is also another highlight. You take this element at slower speeds, so you get some nice hang time. Number 5, Wildcats Revenge, located at Hershey Park. Breaking into our top 5, what better coaster to lead the pack than Wildcats Revenge? This is currently my newest RMC. I love many of the elements on this ride. The inversions are whippy, the airtime moments are forceful, and the pacing is on par. The second half of the ride, just like how the original Wildcat was, continues to build up more speed until you fly back onto the brake run. Now, I do have a couple gripes with Wildcats Revenge. Basically, there are a couple moments that I don't prefer the profiling of the track. That non-banked twisted airtime hill after the second wave turn provides more laterals, making it more uncomfortable than fun. The same can be said with that final turn whipping you onto the brake run. The coaster takes a sharp turn onto the brakes that is somewhat uncomfortable. Beyond those two moments though, the rest of this ride is solid RMC thrills that make this top 5 worthy. Number 4, Air Force 1, located at Fun Spot America, Atlanta. I think one of my biggest coaster duels of 2023 was between Wildcats Revenge and Air Force 1. These are two great coasters and are very close in ranking, but I think Air has a little more to enjoy over Wildcat. The first elements, with the giant dive loop and stall, are excellent. Eye-catching moments as you're driving up to the park down the highway. Every airtime hill is top-notch, only delivering ejector airtime. The coaster also has 2 snappy 0G rolls that stay low to the ground. The one after the double up is especially fast, like you almost think you're going too fast for that inversion. The finale, which is a series of bunny hills, will really bring on that ejector airtime before slamming into the brakes. This is a powerhouse of a coaster that feels crazy being at a small amusement park, or shall I even say it's just a family fun center. That means that this ride almost never has a line, so when you are ready to ride, you can marathon this coaster all day long. But be warned, those strong airtime moments might require a couple breathers throughout that marathon. Number 3, Twisted Timbers, located at King's Dominion. My first ride was back in 2021 and I thought it was a solid roller coaster then, but I had it ranked a little lower. Actually, I had Stormrunner basically neck and neck with each other. Well, after a few rides in 2023, Twisted Timbers has picked up some serious speed. This coaster rips through the course, creating a powerhouse of a ride. Every airtime hill is relentless. The inversions are fun. I'm a huge fan of that snappy cutback. In some ways, just like Air Force 1, the ride might be a little too forceful. Those small bunny hills will punish your thighs, especially if you are taking Twisted Timbers on a marathon. Number 2, Iron Gwazi, located at Busch Gardens, Tampa. I know that many of you were hoping that this was going to be my number 1, but alas, it's sitting in second place. This is a top tier coaster that when I first rode in 2022, I didn't give it all the credit it deserves. Well, after earning a few more rides in 2023, I started to see what all the fuss was about. This coaster has immaculate pacing, slamming you into multiple airtime moments and strong elements. It's very rare for me to gray out on an RMC, but on Iron Gwazi, I grayed out 3 times. If you happen to ride this coaster on a hot summer day, the coaster just flies through the layout. The main reason that holds this coaster back from being my favorite would be the final third of the ride. After that small but decent 0G stall, I feel like the ride loses focus. The final elements are fine, some even have strong airtime, but it seems like the coaster is just meandering around for a few seconds before making it to the brake run. Number 1, Steel Vengeance, located at Cedar Point. It's still the best RMC in my book. Steel Vengeance has it all. I love the gobs of airtime this coaster produces. Unlike most RMCs, Steel Vengeance has great sustained floater and ejector, providing you more variety than just crazy ejector airtime. Other than the few seconds on the mid-course brake run, Steel Vengeance doesn't have a dull moment. The ride continues to throw you into element after another. The ride is basically split up into two halves. The first portion of the ride has larger, stretched out elements, while the second half is a little bit more snappy as you travel through the inside of the massive wooden structure. Steel Vengeance is still the longest hybrid roller coaster in operation, with almost 1,000 more feet of prime ride time from the next one. Even after 5 or now starting 6 years of operation, the crowds instantly flock to this incredible roller coaster at Cedar Point. Thanks for watching today's video. Until next time, this is X Screen Thrills.